In a not at all depressing what have I done with my life achievement, this is my 350th movie review.
Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration.
In celebration, we will be reviewing 2 movies this video, starting with the 1977 sex comedy, The Van. Our movie starts with a weird opening showing you clips from later in the movie and has 2 sex scenes in the first minute 20, but we will skip to meeting our main characters, Bobby and White, and his best friend, Jack.
Give me a ride. I left my car downtown last night.
Yeah, where?
If I knew that, I'd be driving it. I woke up in a garbage can behind Benson's Market. What a night.
Oh, Jesus. Will you look at those tits?
You're crazy. She's looking right at me.
Hey!
Hey, hey, hey!
Our date still on for tonight?
Maybe.
These ladies are Sue and Tina. Tina's the one driving. She's not into these guys at all, but Sue has a thing for Jack.
I thought we might like to go out with them tonight.
I don't need you to make dates for me. When I want to get one, I'll get one myself.
Oh, Tina. Jack's all right. So's Bobby.
Yeah, all right for a night.
What are you talking
They
about?
only have one thing on their mind.
Oh, that's right with me. As long as it's with Jack.
We're introduced to Bobby's boss, played by Danny DeVito, and also introduced to a gimmick used a lot in this movie, where they just keep speeding up the footage. See, the van was custom built for the movie and had a really weak engine, so in order to make it not look like it was going 5 miles an hour, they had to speed up the footage all the time.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I borrow your hat?
Bobby, will you stop talking and get me out of this car? Don't worry, ladies.
You ready, Andy?
Ready for what? I'm ready to get out.
Another constant throughout this movie is that Bobby keeps having fantasies of sex with every woman he meets in the movie. This current one is interrupted when his coworkers run his car through the car wash, and it's a convertible. In the greater scheme of things, his car being destroyed doesn't really matter because we are almost immediately introduced to the titular van. He's buying a van so that he can fuck women in it. That's the entire plot of this movie, by the way. Him trying to bang women in the back of his van.
Let me show you around.
Oh, nothing but the same old thing.
Yeah, Bobby. Waterbed. Huh? Mirrors. And rolls. Foam rubber. Speakers. Mag wheels. 4. Refrigerator. CD. Pop-up toaster. The captain's chair. A drink rack. 8-track. Television. Mirror hoods. Fog lights. Closet. And more!
He starts off trying to get with the hot blonde we saw earlier in the movie, but she's with her boyfriend and kind of lets on that she would have fucked him if her boyfriend wasn't there. But he gives up and finds 3 other women to bring to the van, just saying, "Hey, want to go in my van and smoke weed?"
Pitcher of beer, please.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, great. How are you?
Good. Can I buy you a drink?
Can't. I'm here with Dugan. But thanks just the same.
Can I ever buy you a drink?
Okay, take off.
Sure. Maybe someday I could buy you one. See you around.
Oh, okay.
His "hey, I own a van" plot doesn't seem to be working, as the first girl won't let him touch her boobs. Turns out she stuffs her bra and is super embarrassed about it and runs off, and the next two girls are both prostitutes. So, out of desperation, against his better judgment, him and Jack go on a double date with Tina and Sue. Sue and Jack run off to bang, he's left alone with Tina, and multiple times tries to sexually assault her until she finally runs off, and he pretends he's having sex with her to impress Jack.
Can I trust you?
Can you trust me? Shit. I know how you women get at night.
Bobby!
I don't believe it.
Hampton, you son of a bitch.
You'd think this would be the end of the relationship, but no. They go on another double date after all this is cleared up and it's told that he's lying about fucking her. They still go on another double date where they go to look at vans. They just walk around for like 5 minutes at the beach looking at vans.
I said, get some sleep and dream of rock and roll. Just like a princess, she was laying there, moonlight dancing off her hair. She woke up and took me by the hand. She's gonna love me in my Chevy van, and that's alright with me.
Throughout the rest of the movie, he's kinda shifting his dream girl status from the blonde girl onto Tina, but he's also just fucking random women. There's a random cashier that the movie tells us is fat, even though she's not, and the second Dugan walks away from the house, he does end up fucking the blonde chick. She gets him drunk and fucks him in the van.
Hey, you want to go share a joint on the waterbed?
Waterbed? Really? I just love waterbed.
It's right there in the back.
I really don't have time for a joint. But I got some time for a quickie.
Yeah. Now, what a piece of ass.
Yeah, how was she built?
Well, let's just say she was, big. All over.
You look like you really enjoyed that. I know I did. Dugan.
What?
I'd know the sound of that van anyway.
Forget that. Just get behind the wheel.
Tina gets mad at Bobby for the 400th time in this movie and runs off, and he ends up racing against Dugan, who there's this subplot in the movie that Dugan kills people drag racing vans, and he agrees to race Dugan after telling Dugan, yeah, I totally fucked your girlfriend. And the movie ends with this scene.
Baby, you're warm and giving in the moon.
I'm bigger than Dugan. Yeah, I'm bigger than Dugan. Oh, go ahead. What are you saying?
No, I just want to know if you'd ever really bald Sal.
Well, she says I'm bigger than Dugan.
Oh, Dugan, that turd.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Are you really bigger than Dugan? What?
And she gave
He just randomly tells Tina while they're literally driving off into the sunset, hey, you know my dick's bigger than Dugan's? And she's in the middle of asking him, did you fuck the blonde chick? And he says, yeah, she's the one who told me my dick's bigger than Dugan. And then she says, is it really bigger than Dugan's? And then they laugh, roll credits. A couple things. She has not seen Dugan's dick. She has no idea if he has a micro penis. She has fucked him. She knows how big his dick is, but will somehow be impressed if it's bigger than a dick she hasn't seen? Fuck you, movie. The second movie I'm going to review, also called The Van, is from Ireland. So you know what that means. Hit my music.
Everybody go home, apart from the girl them, you lot say. Walk in the club with a girl, say hey. Tell a man like I'm K to the A. There's no champagne, we don't break. Yeah, I'm the best, I'm so cocked.
Our second movie begins...
Well, speaking as a British person, Raymond, I have to say that Irish movies aren't British.
Thank you, helpful voice from the sky. He's right. England is part of the United Kingdom, not part of Great Britain. So let's play confusing Irish music instead.
Now that design is fairly simple, and it usually works the same. You'll have Razor Houghton scoring in the Ireland-England game, and you'll know you're in an Irish pub the minute you're in the door. For a couple of boys with borons will be murdered in Christy Moore.
I do not know what the guy was saying in the song, or what anyone in this movie is saying, but I did hear the part about Ireland playing England in football, and that's an important plot point in this movie, so I think it fits. Our movie begins by telling us that a guy who's nicknamed Bimbo has lost his job after 25 years, is going to be on unemployment, and complains to his friend, played by Colm Meaney, about the situation, so they go out drinking and get excessively drunk.
Gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
We meet both of her wives through separate scenes, and also find out that Colm Meaney's character has been unemployed for years, and Christmas this year, they just can't afford presents for any of the kids, and it's pretty depressing to start off our movie.
Diane doesn't mind. She doesn't need anything. What about Kevin?
Jesus, I fucking hate it!
Yeah.
I shall be at work.
Oh, love, there'll be more work. There will. Stop fighting now, or these go. Now!
I consulted the voice in the sky, who just happened to be British and knows what a penguin is. He tells me that it's a Tim Tam, so wafer chocolate cookie. I'm just happy that my mom never thought of waving my candy outside the window and telling me, hey, stop fucking off or I'm going to throw your food out the window. Large portion of this movie are about how poor, unemployed people just sit around and drink all day. And I don't know how they got that stereotype.
So up I goes to the hatch like, name, Jerry McCarthy. He's looking at me then, over the specs like, you're not Jerry McCarthy, he says. I am, I says. You're not, he says. I fucking am, I says.
Does anyone want a kettle jug?
How much? I know Jerry McCarthy, says he, and you're not him. You fucking need it, I says. Do you think there's more than one Jerry McCarthy in the whole of fucking Ireland? I mean, there's me father, me grandfather. I've 7 cousins called Jerry McCarthy. There's 18 of us in the one area phone book. He's still looking at me though. Here, give us me money, I says, or me and the other Jerry McCarthys will beat the fucking head off you.
Show me. Here. You're useless. You didn't keep biting your nails. There.
I'm not exactly sure or why, but someone comes to Bimbo and gives him an idea that he should open a chipper, what we in America call a food truck, and find a broken down one in a junkyard for sale.
What you need is a wash and a shave under the armpits.
Yeah, which end does it shine out of?
It's just dirt.
Maggie'll have to see it. I'll get her.
Off you go.
Hang on.
Cue the fixing up the truck montage!
Okay, turn her off. Turn it off!
I heard you.
Okay, so the montage failed horribly. But there is this scene where they force their children to clean the truck and speak a language that clearly isn't fucking English.
Brian's the born. Good looking as well. Then there's Mary doing her leaving. The brains pour out of the house every time I open the fucking door. We're lucky men. Who you tell him?
Their vehicle sucks. The inside's mostly cleaned out. There is no motor, and they're pulled to the location by Bimbo's car, but they decide to camp out outside a pub where the World Cup is playing. And luckily for them, it's 1990, and Ireland had an unexpected good run in the World Cup, making it to the quarterfinals. Remember how I said earlier the England versus Ireland football match would be a thing? Yeah, that's what gets them popularity.
Aimed at Cascarino, won by Butcher. Now here's Sheedy. Sheedy's running back and Sheedy shoots. The nation holds its breath. Yes!
Hold on. I'll have a large single and a spice burger.
Large single and a spice, Deanne. This is the business. Right, you in the head. What do you want? World peace. Your bag.
Okay, I've seen that fucker before. I've reviewed enough movies now that there's no way this thing doesn't overlap with another movie I've seen. Who is that guy? Oh Christ, Accelerator? Just when I thought I didn't know what people in this fucking movie were saying. That movie, I didn't understand the plot, didn't understand the people. That is a confusing pile of fucking bullshit right there. At least this movie, well, boring at times, I understood what the fuck the point was. Accelerator is a pile. Other than not knowing what the hell the characters are talking about, the only real confusing part is Colin Meaney brings Bimbo out to a club to pick up girls when they're both happily married.
By the way, and this is Brendan.
Hello, Brendan. My name's Dawn. This is Anne-Marie.
Just park it there, son.
Anne-Marie wasn't in many things I can find. Dawn was in The Snapper with Colomini. We'll get to that in a minute. And also a movie called Intermission with Colomini that I think is in my pile of DVDs over there if I haven't sold it off. So that's our two movies. They're very, very different. The one from the 70s is a sex comedy. There's 4 or 5 naked women in it. A lot of it is confusing just for my mindset. Tina is so hot and cold with him. Sometimes she's all for him. Sometimes she's literally running away. She steals his van at one point. The whole subplot with the blonde girl and Dugan, she hates her boyfriend but stays with him and even tries to get back with him at the very end of the movie. Everyone's cheating on everybody. Chicks dig vans. Who knew? The whole speed up thing just takes you out of it sometimes. It's a subplot of drag racing. Like I said, there's a 5-minute scene of them just walking around looking at vans. There's a lot packed into this movie. Danny DeVito shows up as his boss. He poisons the guys that ruined his car with basically X-Lax so they'll shit themselves. And Danny DeVito gets tied in on that. They try to beat him up throughout the movie, and DeVito never mentions it. He even lends Danny DeVito money because he's a bookie who gets in over his head and then doesn't have the money to pay him back until the very next scene when he does. So there's a lot of confusion going on, but there's comedy in it, there's nudity in it, and if you're into vans, there's a lot of pretty vans in it. There's not a lot to talk about with the cast and crew with this one. The director never directed before or since. The writers wrote another sex comedy called Malibu Beach, but never really did anything else. Most of the actors stopped acting in the 90s and haven't done anything in over 20 years, or have done very small bit parts in TV series. The main guy, Bobby, has been a music editor on tons of television shows over the last 20 years. Right up until last year, he was editing music for The Vampire Diaries. He did Pretty Little Liars, The Originals, The Following, Ravenswood, The Secret Circle, and motherfucking One Tree Hill. Because of course he did. On to the 1996 movie The Van. It's based on the third in the novel series of the Barrytown trilogy, written by Roddy Doyle. All three star Colomini. They're The Snapper, The Commitments, and The Van. The Commitments is the only one known very well here in the States. It got nominated Best Film Editing at the Oscars and nominated Best Music or Comedy Film at the Golden Globes. Although they are the same characters in all three movies, and there's a lot of cast overlap going on, the character names were forced to change because The Commitments was successful and the studio wanted to keep copyrights of the character names. It's directed by the director of Philomena and The Queen. It's written by Roddy Doyle himself. Yeah, it's a much slower movie than the 77 one. A lot of family dynamics, just trying to make it in the world. And like I said, it's based around the 1990 World Cup. They use the success of the team, park outside a pub, and everyone's in the eating mood, celebrating, drinking, and they become a local favorite until they're shut down by the health inspector. There's a big conflict between Colomini and Bobo about whose fault it is. Colomini thinks that Bimbo's out to get him and trying to take away the success from him, even though he might not really deserve the success since it was Bimbo's idea and he just kind of tagged along onto boredom. But Colomini believes that he deserves a piece of this, which Bimbo tries to give him, but he thinks it's an empty gesture when it's not. And there's this interplay between the two that they actually do like each other and are friends, but they also think the other guy is mad at him when they're really not. Since January of 13, I have now made 350 movie reviews of questionable and varying quality. What have you done in the last 5.5 years? Fuck, has it been that long and I still haven't improved the quality of this bullshit? Let me know what you've done in the last 5.5 years down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. Here's 2 bonus clips.
Yeah, in a minute. Hey, Dugan, I've been meaning to tell you. It was me over Sally's house the other night, you big dumb turd, you.
Nobody called Doogie a turd!
6 singles, please. No, 7. Me as well.
I don't want them chips.
Well, you're getting them. I only own 3 of them.
They're lovely.
They're bastards, every fucking one of them. This'll be the last. With a bit of luck, it'll be deaf and dumb.
Oh, hi again. I forgot to complain about one more thing. In the 1977 movie The Van, they play the song Chevy Van like 5 or 6 times. It's a Dodge. The main vehicle is a fucking Dodge, and they play Chevy Van over and over and over. As legendary as George Barris is for making vehicles, he made a underpowered vehicle of the wrong fucking make and model. Thanks. Goodbye.